I think we're all on the same level, like Furia and the other Brazilians. I think when you play against another Brazilian, like the level gets like in the middle between because it's like a classic match. I think everybody's gonna be on the same level, and anyone can beat anyone. And we are aiming to win this minor. I think everybody knows how the other teams play, but I don't think anybody will change anything, to be honest. Because I feel like there's some teams that are really confident in the way they play, that they don't, even if you watch them, don't care. And since we didn't play too much tournament this season, it's good for us because they don't know exactly what we're doing because we don't have too much demos and everything. So I think it's a good advantage for us. I feel like there's a lot of teams that think that to be a good team you need to copy someone or you need to find a style on your team, like play loose or play default heavy or play only execute. And I feel like we're stronger now because we have all of that. It makes us unpredictable. So I think if we can put that in the game, we're gonna be fine.
From the tracks of Train to the shimmering oasis of Mirage, NRG are one map away from qualifying for the major here in Berlin. INTZ have quite a long road ahead of them if they want to come back into this, but it is their choice of map, Van. There is a hope, there is a chance. They're going to be hoping that, as Yell said, NRG don't have much information on them.
Yeah, the one thing that is a bit unfortunate for them is that that interview was obviously done at the beginning of the binary. Now they've actually played Mirage a fair few times.
Sure.
And I mean, we already have picked up a couple on the weakness, a couple of the weaknesses that INTZ have had on this very map as well. While their T side has been looking pretty decent, their CD sides have left something to be wanting, and it's not necessarily the A bomb side; it's the B bomb side.
Yep.
Yell and Zand have had significant struggles actually being able to deal with. B executes, even if they're throwing at them 7 times in a row, like we saw versus Sharks. It was weird to see because it was the same kind of a weakness that we saw the first time they played it versus Fury as well. That time around, they were able to fight back, and eventually Zand got into his groove cello as well to carry them over. But it's going to be a really tough task versus a team like NRG, and even though the win rate might be more close on a map like this than what it was on Train. NRG are playing, a completely different tier of opponents than what INTZ do on a normal day-to-day basis.
Sure. Plus, on the other side of B, they aggressed on B a hell of a lot themselves.
Yeah.
It was kind of their go-to strat. So you have to think that NRG have had a look across at that and like what they see. There were a bunch of nades to start the round off. They've now been deployed on the A site where INTZ are going to be using their pistols. KNG's made no noise and has dropped down into window. Tarek caught completely unaware and has been dealt with, leaving the rest of NRG funneling through. There is one ace up the sleeve. It's going to be Breezy. Is he coming around from the ramp side? The rest of his team need him right now. They can't afford to wait any longer. Ethan is being tagged from left and right. Breeze now going to show his hand. Now going to start to deliver some headshots. In his post plant, starting to slip away from INTZ, especially as it's all on Cello. He's trying to perforate the smoke, but Ethan comes back with a headshot. And that is going to be another round going to NRG, the first of Mirage.
Yeah, great retake there. And as you said, the linchpin being Breeze on that flank, being able to find 2 rapid kills to set them off on a good start. Ethan being able to pick up the defuse kit inside the smoke as well that was dropped on Stanislaw. There we go. This is the really big one. As Yell pierce out from the boxes. NRG off to a wonderful start here. Got off to a pretty hot start on Train as well before we saw any sort of response from INTZ. See if they can get off to a similar run once more. KNG with the hero SG is going to get himself 1 kill at the very least, but here's Breezy. 2 to his name. Weapon out of hands as well for INTZ. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to retrieve that Krieg. Well, as I say that, Destiny does manage to do so.
This is a solid start, though, Ven. A good trade for INTZ. They've still got control of the bomb, although Stanislaw's making a move around the back.
Yeah.
MP9 against the SG mid-air. Connects onto Destiny. Nice shot. Good reactions by Stanislaw. So I say that they've got control of the bomb. That's definitely not the case anymore.
No, they got control over bomb sites, but you don't really get too far with that. alone. So Yell just going to hang out in underpass for the time being. Zand is really going to have to be the one that finds an opening here, but Zerx seems pretty aware that somebody might have been able to wander off from the A bomb site. So even if Zand is going to come in from a bit of a different angle, it should be an easy kill for Zerk, and that's exactly what it is. Yell now needs to move forward. It's got a lot of work to do. A lot of ground to cover as well. He knows where Zerk is, but it's the two others, Stanislaw and Tarek, that he has no idea where currently find themselves. And I'm not sure if it's worth going into a spot where you save this FAMAS. He's actually going to find Zerk. That's a great duel to take. 25 seconds, though.
Upgrades his primary and secondary guns. Deagle and M4. Good arsenal of weaponry, but he wasn't expecting Tarek and the back of the boxes, who is going to trade out to his M4 too. So, a bit shaky, has to be said, for NRG, but they do get past the finish line of round 2.
Yeah. Considering that they did invest into an SG on the side of INTZ, means that they're not going to have enough money across the board to go for a third round buy like this. So they're going to, yeah, get another SG into the hands of KNG. So that also means that we're going to delay the potential AWP in his hands. This might catch NRG off guard. So just firing at an angle. It's going to take out the one weapon they had in their hands initially. Ethan with the one tap onto Yell. That's bombed down as well. This is not going as well as INTZ had hoped for.
Certainly not. More MP9 frags equates to more money in the bank. NRG, the currency of rounds, is also brimming to the top. 3-0. INTZ going to have more rifles, a couple of SGs, AKs being purchased. Downside is, because of their constant buys and half buys, KNG will not have an AWP.
They're going to get a Galil, which is a very sad reality for him to come to grips with. Top mid smoke is going to come down from Breezy, so we might actually see some aggression being posted up here. Instead, actually, yeah, the aggression is going to come out from INTZ. Cello super early with that jump before either top catwalk smoke was down or window smoke was down.
Especially confusing, seeing as that's the exact same position Cirque got the first kill in the last round too with the M4. Identical. Deja vu. INTZ with a player down, now going to have to try and rummage their way back over to the mid side of the map with the bomb. This is leaving Zand in Palace by himself. KNG's been dinked in connector. 5 HP separates him and a death.
A rough spot to play back from here. Tarek with the forward positioning in B ups as well, so he should be at least good for one kill here in this kind of scenario. Also has Breeze behind him. Oh, actually, Destiny wins out that duel. Doesn't take too much damage for it either. That's for about half. Now they know that Breezy's on the side as well.
So both players drop additionally. And with Cirque and Ethan having his back covered, this round should now become a formality.
Yeah, and the weird thing is they commit to the down drop on B while the bomb is still dropped outside of V apartments. So even if they were to create a sort of a rotation, stay alive for a really, really long time, still ends up with being a pretty hefty rotation from one of the INTZ players over towards A. And KNG right now with the forward position in CPL, he probably thinks to himself that, well, the A bomb side should be pretty clear. He was able to walk out a connector, not die. You do have one player in Stanislaw still hanging out, and he's going to find KNG right there.
10 seconds. Zand gets the kill. Will be able to get the bomb plant too, but he's on 36 health, and there's a Molotov being tossed his way. He's going to burn to a crisp. In fact, he even gets that kill's impressive, but it won't stop the end result going the way of NRG. At the cost of 3 weapons, though.
Did cost him a little bit, but round 1 is what matters. And as for INTZ, again, these F investments earlier on has still prevented KNG from actually getting an AWP in his hands. Cello does have enough to potentially drop it, but that would leave him with no armor. See what they decide to do with it. Again, NRG off to a flying start once more. This time doubling up in the window. I mean, Stanislaw is alone over towards... It's actually Tarek this time, over alone towards the B bomb side, and the tempo's been punched up here. Still able to find two. Breezy with a quick rotation as well. It's going to help him out. Destiny's so blind. So is everyone else, though.
Nearly worked out in his advantage. There's such a chaotic confusion fell upon the B site. Still 1 minute and 20 to go, but the bomb's not under control from Zand. It's actually below him. If he had the bomb, he could really start to play the mind games with Stanislaw, but Stanislaw has his eyes on the prize. On the reason for him to move. There is a Molotov. If Zand guesses right, it could yield him the round. But he's checking all the corners beforehand. Doesn't want to fall into the trap that is Stanislaw. Now making some noise. Stan should know exactly where he is. Up on the van. Dropping down again. Any second now, and it was all going to be against Zand, to be honest. There's so many angles that he could have been watching the bomb from. Unfortunate, but NRG again, just about claim another round.
Thing is, though, as much damage as INTZ is doing to the economy of energy, it's a consistent issue, the fact that INTZ are not able to get the bomb plant down. But if they were to rebuy into this, it's not going to be the strongest one. And I feel at a certain point, you just kind of have to give up the game of chicken, really, and force buys in hopes to break the CT side economy just to get an op in the hands of KNG and actually get you a couple of rounds to get going. Tactical pause being called as well. And it was 6-0 on train for Energy before we saw a response from INTZ, and renewing that territory again.
Yeah, it's been pretty similar as well because they were chipping away a lot of weapons in that 6-0 so that when they did start to win, instantly the economy was broken down from NRG, and that's what got them 5 rounds in a row. So we could have a return. We could have a repeat performance. Hence this tactical timeout. They want to make sure that they're all on the same page. Full CZ with armor. They're dropping down on firepower to allow them another buy in the next round with full round loss bonus. Smoke's being deployed. 3-player stack on A. NRG maybe calling this one incorrectly. Zerk has spotted KNG, hence the grenade being underarmed into underpass. But they're not taking anything slow about this round, the Brazilians. They're already moving in with KNG. He's made inroads through jungle, now hiding out in window room. Ethan going to be holding the line with his teammate to his left-hand side, which is Breeze. He's going to be called upon with the SG. Bomb's been dropped in Sandwich. And try as they might, the aggression hasn't really paid off at all.
INTZ right now are getting into great afterplant positions with, 40% of their team, but they're not getting a bomb plant down. So they don't really amount to a whole lot. The odds coming in from GD.bet, heavily favoring Energy, and to be fair, they haven't dropped a round yet. So that's understandable, even though this is INTZ's map pick. I kind of alluded to it as well. I mean, it's INTZ's map pick, and they might have decent enough stats on it, especially throughout the minors. You have to consider the fact that Energy are playing some of the best teams in the world on this map every single week. Now, new look from Energy as well. Aggressive stance from Stanislaw. I don't think that boost is going to be enough to actually spot his head, even if Stanislaw were to stand up. As long as he keeps himself tucked away there, should be good for at least 1 kill.
He has no one watching his back on the other side. Now Zerk is moving in, so he can just stay in position. He could have been worried in case someone was sneaking their way to his right-hand side to shoot him in the back.
Oh, it's going to be the run boost as well.
Yeah, run boost across. Zerk knows it. Stanislaw's going to get the call. Now he can make a move in with the AWP. KNG's like, hold on a second. There's someone shooting behind me. Stanislaw's got 2. He's done more than enough. INTZ on the back foot. All of their plans. A tactical timeout has not managed to get them anything in return. So they're going to just go back to the A hit instead. Still have plenty of grenades to supplement the push. Barrel of the gun betraying Cello. Zerk has his eyes towards Palace. Solid fragging. Zan needs to be very, very careful about peeking Zerk in this kind of form. But it's not really going the way that INTZ were hoping for on their choice of map.
It's not working out early on here. That is for sure. INTZ is seeming to have their number here. Breezy starting off the game very, very strong with 11 frags. And again, if you can get the right calls at the right time there, again, posting up Stanislaw in top mid, it's just going to auto-win you the round, more or less.
So a timeout, again, INTZ not shredding through their timeouts, just to try and get a stranglehold over this first half. Worrying sign too is that it was NRG that said, yeah, we're not necessarily feeling massively confident on our CT sides. It's mainly our terrorist sides where we feel like we shine. Well, CT side's going all right so far.
Pretty damn decent, that's for sure. They have more in store for the T side. Yeah, that could be a bit of a nightmare for INTZ right now because they're going down a slippery slope here. All they can invest in is pistols, and it's very likely that NRG will be looking at 8 rounds before they even get another chance of fighting back.
What will give them confidence is that INTZ are at least getting kills. Oh, there's a slight gap in the smoke, and Cirque going to capitalize on it, sending Destiny spiraling out of round 8. A half by. Tarek can hear footsteps. Cirque in midair. Drills Cello. 1 kill in retaliation. A bit unfortunate, Cirque, to not get the kill outright, but we'll finish off with the USP. And KNG on a measly 15 HP.
A lot of lick shots coming in from Cirque here.
Man, he's going to feel a bit hard done by, but at the end of the day, plenty of rounds to cry into.
Yeah,
plenty
absolutely.
of money too.
I was about to say, I know what GIF you're talking about.
I actually spoke to Circuit in between the 2 maps, and he was very, very chill, like super calm, super collected.
They have to feel supremely confident going into this minor, obviously, even with all the history they've had and basically the bad runs they've gone into, regardless of form leading up to the event. They should still have enough confidence in themselves to be clear favorites. I think we're seeing that being on display in full force right now. Just 8 rounds away from securing their spot at the Major.
Smoke's a little bit late, but better late than never. That's a bit of an off spray from Breeze. Could have had quite the impact. It's looking as though the Brazilians will get their first round, though, on the T side. Just a shame it's coming in the 9th round.
Better late than never, though. No intention from NRG to actually attempt a retake here. And for being up 8-0, you would expect their money to be a lot better than what it is currently.
Exactly.
That's why you're not seeing this super aggressive posturing, really, to take out weapons on the side of INTZ.
Yeah, it's as a result of INTZ just doing so much work, even in the rounds that they've been losing. They've been just getting a kill here, kill there. 2 or 3.
Adds up. Stanislaw not going to be able to connect with Destiny there. And everyone on the side, the Brazilian team should be staying alive for this one. And they've not lost their voices yet either. Haven't had too much to celebrate about up until that point. Maybe this could be the start. Did go for a bit of a run on T side once they actually get the ball rolling. They're going to do the same here on Mirage.
He's just trying to instill some kind of fire in their belly, you know, because they're so close. Yes, they're getting battered in this game, no doubt. But if they win this best of 3, if they can come back, they've qualified for the Major. There's so much to be inspired and motivated by there.
100%. And again, one thing they've definitely been refusing to do is to give up, regardless of how bleak it might have looked at any given time. This is nothing new for them. Cello, yeah, with the 2 entry frags there, definitely doing his part. And he was one of the really big reasons as to why we saw them pull through with victories on Mirage as well earlier in the minor. Finding picks over towards B. Making life hard for the CTs. So I mean, he's going to get some help from Yell. It's Breezy down. Tarek's still not spotted, but yeah, that was just a matter of time before he goes down. Again, the B-bomb site just readily available for the Brazilians. Solid executes as well. And it's rinse repeat of the previous round.
I mean, it's something that we were discussing in the pre-game segment. This was one of their main strengths, was their B hits. They went there over and over again against the Brazilian teams they played previously in the tournament.
Funnily enough, it's also their big weakness once you swap over to the CT side.
Exactly.
Zerk loses his op, but Stanislaw has been able to gather another one. It's KNG to go down, and probably not anywhere near enough to actually being able to punish him for that as well.
So 2 in a row. This is still very much a salvageable half. There is going to be another buy. I was curious if they would dip in with a couple of players around $2,000. And maybe more of just Cirque getting an AWP and everybody else holding fire until the next round. Again, Cello with entries.
Cirque not as giddy as he was earlier on. It's actually forced NRG to take a time out here to talk things through. Again, it's pivotal for INTZ here to be able to string around, 3 to 4 rounds extra here to salvage this half. Luckily for them, though, they've put NRG in a position where, well, at best, they're going to get 1 buy, at a time. It's not going to build up economy anytime soon, so there's always going to be an opportunity to pounce back for the Brazilians, which eventually can be a 2-for-1 round.
Deep discussion on INTZ. Meanwhile, NRG, they do decide to just keep it with Cirque, everybody else going for a half bite. There's still a lot of firepower there. And some nades.
Surprise, surprise.
It's B. Cirque here is able to maybe get some kills. That is a big whiff, though. Stanislaw on the site with a P250. He's going to cull out Yell. KNG.
Smokes here, though, to section Cirque off, and yeah, that's what they're waiting for as well. Cello just refusing to move until his pathway is covered.
It is Chell that takes that first death. Cello now waiting for smoke to clear. Stanislaw on the wrong side of it. Was out in no man's land. Tarek, very much the same case. Cirque has been getting the hell out of there for a while now. Once he got smoked off, he had no interest. Wants to keep the AWP. Again, they can buy in the next round, so that's a lot of equipment value they'll save themselves.
Tarek's just desperately hoping that somebody from INTZ is going to move into kitchen here. They don't really have any incentive to do so. Let's see, he's probably going to have to stay with him for another round. Breezy, though. Oh, actually, yeah. It's dealt with in a fashionable way. Oh, that was nice of him, shooting the AK a little bit closer to Tarek. He's actually going to survive with it as well. So that's a free weapon to bring with you into the next round. But obviously, INTZ, they're more worried about actually just picking up rounds in itself. Now, do you think we're going to see another B rush coming out of INTZ? You can't fault them for it. It's pretty much been the only thing that's working, right?
Yeah, yeah. They've tried A, they've tried mid, they've been repelled. So if B's working, you just keep going. But my curiosity now peaks with, do NRG try and deal with that by maybe pushing in underpass? Do they try an underpass push with a couple of players, depending on the spawns? Do they feel confident enough that they can just play pretty default on B and hold it?
I'll say so far, like, for the idea of playing default, the worry about that is that Tarek just has not had a really good game up to this point. He's been struggling winning out duels, so that might be a bit of a worry for them. But yeah, something like an underpass push with 1 to 2 players, similar to we've seen NRG throw out some aggression other parts of the map as well early, right? Stanislaw top mid, Breezy has also been pushing up there. It's definitely something they could try for, but it seems like INTZ are not really gonna make it an issue at all. They've gone away from the sudden B rush once more.
And maybe talking themselves out of the winning formula. NRG didn't go for any aggression in underpass, which could prove to be the correct decision after all. But Destiny is going through to B. It's just a different take. It's not the B rush through the apps. It's short control, and Breeze mulls them down where they stand, but it's mainly Tarek that's going to chip in with the kills. He hasn't been having a great game on this map, but he's trying to make amends for that. KNG somehow dodging all the bullets that are fired his way. Finally, one is going to land in the back of his head. And there's Breeze. Hell of a hold by NRG.
Bit of a weird one from INTZ as well, because you can see the smokes being down, which is the general indication of a normal B hit coming, but it still forces INTZ to have to run through the smokes. That's how you see pretty much, confused Yell running through the smoke initially, right? He doesn't have any sort of idea as to where people are. There's no flashes coming over to actually blind them because you have a majority of your forces over towards Catwalk, and it becomes pretty easy for, well, yeah, players like Breezy and Tarek to just mow them down one by one.
Now they're going for the underpass. Now they're giving it a try. Breeze is on 15 kills, 114 ADR, make it 16. Alleviate some of the pressure on the B side. KNG misses his chance. Ethan did go for a peek. A slight gap to work with for the Brazilian AWPer. It does seem like INTZ, it's their crutch. If all else fails, hit B. And going back to it again. They have to be cognizant of, with Breezy getting that kill in underpass, he could still be around here somewhere. It's going to eat valuable time to check it out, just to be absolutely sure. Still nades too on the B side. Molotov, a few flashbangs.
Absolutely possible to make this work, especially when you consider the rotation time that's in store for NRG here if they can't stall the push. Breezy's in a pretty tough situation or tough spot to deal with though. Boosted up on the boxes. Tarek though, starting to warm up here.
He's feeling it. Breeze is effectively baiting Tarek out and saying, look, you cause chaos, I'm going to sit here on the box, and it's worked to a charm. KNG, final player to fall. NRG get it done with a clean sweep.
Here we go. Throwing some of the shouting back at the Brazilians. We haven't heard, well, I was about to say we haven't heard the Americans being too vocal, but then again, we did have Singularity here.
We also had Stanislaw verbally wreck them last map towards the end, which nearly backfired because they did mount a bit of a comeback after that.
Yeah, that is true, but they seem to be in control right here already. 10 rounds on their CT side. Again, pretty much the biggest part of their game that they felt uncomfortable with going into this minor, but, well, nothing to be worried about as it stands right now.
Yeah, and I mean, it was KNG that really lit Mirage up. He's on 4 kills. He's just not had any chance to really explode with the AWP.
INTZ's meant so much of the earlier game, early parts of the game with these low econ buys. Yeah, when he finally has had the opportunity, not really being able to make the most out of it. In part, obviously, due to NRG doing a great job of this. Just limiting the chances that KNG has.
Underrated the impact that Cirque had in saving Ethan's life by showing his hand a couple of times and keeping INTZ honest. Ethan was at great risk of being overrun from underpass after being spotted.
Yeah, the 4-man setup here from NRG on the A-bomb side. The second INTZ decides to move back towards it. Stanislaw nearly gets caught out. Will eventually, actually. Cirque's there to respond, though. So 3v3. No bomb site control just yet.
So smart for Cirque to move away, repositions, and frags down KNG. He knew that that grenade could be tossed his way. So he moved away from it, explode on the CT boxes, and he rose back up to put INTZ down. This is brutal. Their side
Really is.
Their map, and they're getting wrecked.
You're trying to look for silver linings, right? If you're INTZ, the fact that, you know, can't have strong CT sides, your map pick, you might have something special at the end of your sleeve, but I mean, we've seen it. INTZ usually posted pretty decent T sides. They were able to get a lot more closer rounds at the very worst than what they're doing right now. We know that they have a bit of a weakness on that B bomb site when you swap sides. This might just be a case of them being outmatched. Breezy peering over. Not going to be able to land the shot onto Destiny. Now Tarek is starting to win out all of his duels towards speed. That was the one thing that INTZ had going for them for a little while there. Tides have turned. Zerg gets the leg shot. Still alive, still kicking though. And KNG is not.
Kicking the dirt is KNG. For the last time in this half, Stanislaw perforating the head of Zand and going in on Destiny, vanquishing the oncoming INTZ players. 12-3 half, as dominant as they could have hoped for on the choice of map of INTZ. Is it going to get any better for them, Vendetta? I'm not too sure.
No, it's looking a little bit grim here. And the usually pretty loud Brazilian side has been quieted down. We'll see, though, if they can mount a comeback. We'll be back in about 90.
NRG are just 4 rounds shy of qualifying for the Major and booking their slot at the Berlin StarLadder Major later this year. It really is that close. It's tantalizingly close. They can see the finish line, but INTZ stand between them. That being said, though, Ven, a measly 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they stand between them, but for the first half there, INTZ pretty much felt like they were standing on the sidelines. They were not able to bring the heat to start, like right off the bat, and obviously you're not going to get too many chances here when you're down 12-3 on the second half either. Pistol round is going to be vital, needless to say. But my hopes are not too high. NRG obviously coming into this entire tournament as big favorites, and they've definitely delivered up to this point. You don't really see any reason to start doubting them at this stage.
Well, it may sound cliche, but this pistol round is an absolute must for INTZ. They lose this, they're going to be on the back foot from here on out. They've taken some early damage. They're giving up A control. They do have a kit in the H8. NG going to try and show his hand. He needs to start rattling some heads with USP. There's one. Ethan pretty much ran into it and body blocked the USP shot for his friend in Palace. KNG's doing more. This is starting to look better for INTZ. Tarek at the back of the site with the Glock, though, is putting down some pain, and Cello's been found and fragged. Stanislaw has his back covered, but not for much longer. He's actually on the rotation. He's trying to get round here. The bomb is planted for him. Glock is starting to rattle off a few shots, and it's going to be landing more. Stanislaw is keeping them alive in this round. INTZ need to clutch this. They need to get Xander. Just keep on to the side. He's defusing them amongst it. Oh, but Stanislaw with the Glock is the guardian angel of NRG, and they're going to take a 13-3 lead.
There, you can see the entire intent of that round from the get-go. The open plant, the aggressive positioning from both Ethan and Zerk up towards jungle. It's all a ploy to just delay time so the rotation could come in from Stanislaw. He darts immediately after planting the bomb. And it looked a little bit dicey because, I mean, his teammates are falling apart around him way before he was in any sort of position to deal with it. But there you see the strength of a good post-plant positioning and what it can do for you. 1v3 by the in-game leader.
A good post-plant situation, but also a good calm head on those shoulders.
Absolutely.
Not getting carried away or desperate, playing the position to perfection. And now INTZ, we said they'd be on the back foot. They've gone in for 2 scouts, MP9, couple pistols, 2 smokes, no kits. It's looking dire, Van.
It is. Tag damage, though, is coming in from KNG. He's already tagged up Breezy. Now it's Ethan to feel the pain. Saw over on Train Energy, we're able to win back around with double scouts as well. Stack is still favoring the B bomb side on the side of INTZ. Cello might be able to get the drop on one player. I think Stanislaw might have spotted his feet already.
Oh, the timing. When it rains, it pours. INTZ,
Really does.
they are just feeling gutted. But there's so many tags being connected with the scout from KNG. Before Tarek will mow him down, a road away, what remains of NTZ. And Zand at least is going to be able to upgrade to a Galil.
Oh, the open plant. Well, it gets disturbed at the very least. And Zand's going to pick up Tarek as well. Now there's 2 tagged players on the side of NRG. Stanislaw, the only one with HP. Defuse kits on INTZ, though, so they need to be quick about it if they want to consider a retake. Oh, it seems like they're actually just going to forgo that thought completely.
Zand is toying with the idea of looking for exit frags, but surely at this point you want to prioritize saving your guns as opposed to taking them away. You know there's a couple of MAC-10s or SMGs on the other team.
Is he actually going to go in for this?
He doesn't have
Does
the
not
kit.
feel worth it.
It's
Yeah, it's just like one of the exit kills. You need to get out of dodge here, yeah, to survive. There we go. Probably hoping that he can find, I think it's Ethan dodging through apps there. Maybe have a little bit of luck going their way, you know, weapon exploding in their direction. It would have only been a MAC-10 though, but Zen can't know that, obviously.
Yeah, there was an AK down, but it was in ramp. It wasn't anywhere towards the site, so... You can see there, I think it was in the hands of maybe Stanislaw. Either way, it was in ramp. 14-3. Breeze will get here very quick as a result of that mini run boost.
Still gonna take more damage though. KNG just laying down the pain. Doesn't stop Tarek from moving up short though. This is so quick.
Too quick to handle for Zand and Yell, and he said that B was the issue. Destiny can't stop the rot onto B. They're all going to be demolished. He told onto these guns for the last round, and there goes Tarek, pushing through. AK-47 frags. There are so many match points for NRG now, 12 in total.
Tarek just never stopped holding W. Worked out swimmingly for him as well. As you can see, he's joining the top of the scoreboard. Highest ADR on the server. 4 kills behind Breezy, but you see also rocking more assists. Just solid contributions all around the board, really, from NRG. And you can't really, nobody's really doing anything wrong when you're up 15-3.
Yeah, you really have to be pretty harsh to pick up on any mistakes
Yeah.
when you're this dominant.
We'll see, though, if they can close it out. If they can secure their ticket to the Major, be returning back to Berlin in a couple of weeks' time.
Smoke down into window to try and draw out maybe desperation play from INTZ. Take some control. Destiny is in ladder room with the UMP. Doesn't want to peek out too far. At the medium to long range, it is always going to come out second best against the AKs and SGs that NRG do possess. Even have an AUG for good measure. They know that the utility in weaponry is going to be low, so they're really anticipating a potential push, or it reminds me very much of like an anti-eco setup, and that's why. Stanislaw will feel a bit hard done by with that push, but Cirque at least avenges him.
You don't want to get sloppy now if you're NRG. Obviously, fair few match points to work with here, but you want to maintain the showings that you've done so far in this minor. That's to close it out, be efficient as possible. Breezy, yeah, he's going to do exactly that. Finds Destiny. Man advantage back in the favor of NRG.
Molly down, forces Cello out into the open with the MP9. Able to at least salvage the 1 kill, but that's all. 15 seconds to go. Bomb needs to go across to the site and get planted. Yell in the meanwhile is going to take this opportunity to get up in the perch of Staircase. He can't stop the plant, but can maybe finalize Ethan or not. Zand, 1 on 3 to save INTZ. If he can't get this done, NRG get across the finish line. Doesn't have a kit, no grenades. They're playing with their food. NRG, and Tarek puts the final nail in the coffin. They've done it, they qualify. They forego any more qualifications. They've booked their slot at the Berlin Major.
Well deserved as well. NRG by far the better team here in this America's Minor. I mean, for a team ranked number 5 in the world, this is kind of what you would have seen as the expected outcome. Still, standing strong, INTZ. They go down versus NRG, but they're still not out of it. They're going to get another chance at fighting for a spot at the major. They're going to have to go up against Furia to do so as well.
Absolutely. They still have more chances. They are not done just yet. But it is Furia in a best of 3. That is no easy feat at all.
Definitely so. But INTZ, they've shown that they're able to put up a good fight, almost regardless of who they go up against. NRG might have been just a task too tall, but nobody's really come close to them so far at this minor. So still a lot of interesting stuff to be seen here. We're still not quite done, but NRG do punch their ticket to the Berlin Major, and they got to feel happy about that.
Oh, absolutely. They've had issues in the past, obviously not necessarily this iteration in this roster,
Yep.
but as a brand, as an organization, NRG, they've had their slips, they've had their slides, back in the Face It Major, of course, in London, most notably. So to get this done, not have to play any more games, not have to worry about the third sort of playoff spot, just to get straight through there, it's going to do them the world of good. They can now go back home and chill.
Absolutely, fully focused on what is really at stake, and for a team like NRG, they should be focusing on getting to quarters, semifinals of majors, not just qualifying for them entirely. So, great job from everyone around. I think we saw a really solid energy, and if they're lacking with their CT size, I mean, oh boy, they're going to be dangerous teams to look out for.
When I say go home and chill, they're obviously going to be working their asses off.
Obviously.
And the longer this roster is together, the stronger they're going to get. So if they're looking this good right now, who knows what's in store at the major?
Definitely be getting fun to see. And as well, INTZ, Furia, they're going to be duking out for the last spot here for that goes directly into the major, because obviously there will be that third place play-in as well. That's going to have all the regions kind of mashed together to see who makes it out, which is also going to be pretty fun. So, I mean, for all the teams that are remaining, they will be back in Berlin. Yeah. But obviously, it's going to be in a very different circumstances. Some will still have the added pressure on them, and some won't. If you were to just right off the bat have who would you see as a bit of a favorite going into Furia versus INTZ, considering what we've seen at the minor?
I think I'd probably say Furia, but that's all in the future. Then we have an interview on the stage lined up with the winners of NRG. Take it away, Smix.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations, guys. You guys are qualified and moving on to that major. And not only that, you do so in really convincing fashion, not dropping a single map. So overall, what are your initial thoughts moving forward?
I think this is a really important step for us moving forward. Playing at the major is definitely something that's very important to everyone who competes in Counter-Strike. It's the most prestigious tournament, and yeah, I think it's like we're all really happy about it, and that we dropped no maps. It's good confidence for us moving forward.
And definitely, despite the fact that this was the Americas minor, you guys played 4 separate Brazilian teams to qualify and move forward. So what was that like playing all of those different teams?
Yeah, I mean, these are teams that we're familiar with. We practice against them all the time. And it is kind of interesting to see that there's majority Brazilian teams here, not many Americans. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy going for us just because we're familiar with their play style. And I think going into all the matches, we had high confidence because these are teams that we should be beating. So, yeah.
Yesterday when I was talking to Stanislaw, he was talking about how once he joined the team, it's been a process where he's slowly starting to implement his style. So personally speaking for yourself, what has that been like, especially in comparison to what it was like with Dabs?
I think it's been good. I think that there's still a few things that we're still trying to figure out, but overall we're trying to have a slower approach to the game and try to be more methodical with how we play the rounds out and playing together and coordinating stuff a little bit better, especially in those mid-round situations. And yeah, Peter's been great so far, and I think all of us are happy with the results that we've had leading up to this point, but I think that we want more, and hopefully we can show that at the major.
Well, the major's now about 4 weeks away. What is the team really going to be working on? Is there going to be a little bit of time off? And then once you get back to practicing, what specific things are you going to be looking out for?
Yeah, so leading up to the major, we're going to have a small break. We're going to have a player break. And then going into the major, we're going to do a boot camp for about 10 days, which will be really important for us. And I think in that boot camp, it'll really solidify some main points for us, specifically mid-round stuff and also CT rounds that have to be like sharpened up. So I think the boot camp will be really good.
Well, sounds great. Congratulations once again, guys. And with that, NRG will be our first team to qualify for the major from the Americas minor.